So today, this session we are going to discuss the anatomy of earthworm. Particularly, we are going to discuss the three systems today in this class, namely the respiratory system, the circulatory system, and the nervous system. Okay. The first is the respiratory system. You know what is the respiration? In earthworm, so how the respiratory system is arranged, what is the structure? So the earthworm, there is no any special respiratory organs like gills or lungs. Okay, it is simpler, not it is highly complex like human beings. No special, so this is important. Okay, no special respiratory organs. So like it is lungs or gills. So first point is no any specific or special highly developed organ and organ systems for the purpose of the respiration. Then how this takes place? So that respiration that occurs through the body wall, okay, through the general body surface. This is the that earthworm. Listen, this is the earthworm. There is no any special organs like gills, lungs, gill, and this is body surface. Through the body surface, simple process of diffusion. Okay, that diffusion. So through the general body surface, that the oxygen is diffused inside. That oxygen is diffused. Similarly, the carbon dioxide is diffused outside from that a simple diffusion process. Okay, a diffusion. Simple diffusion process. That oxygen that diffuses goes inside. Goes inside and it reaches the blood vessel and blood carry that oxygen. And for that purpose, I said there is simple process of diffusion that it diffuses through the skin. So that skin is highly supplied with blood capillaries. After that is diffusing, here there is blood vessel. Blood vessels highly, that skin which is richly supplied with the blood vessels, so that after penetrating, that is diffuses the skin, that reaches the blood vessels. So that blood vessels carries. That blood vessels carries and transport to all the parts of the that body, that oxygen and the respiratory gases which are transported. The same process, that carbon dioxide is diffused out. So for this purpose of diffusion, this is important. So for this purpose of diffusion, that skin is always moist. Listen, that skin is kept moist. It is moist because of that mucus and the coelomic fluid. The mucus and the coelomic fluid. That so gushed out, that coelomic fluid gushed out, and that mucus it is secreted by the glandular cells of the epithelium. I have discussed. So skin contains some glandular cells. That glandular cells produces mucus, and also that coelomic fluid that gushed out through the pores, and so that because of this, that body wall, that is outer side is always moist. So through that, that in the moist surface, that oxygen is dissolved and diffused and goes inside. So this is the respiratory system of the earthworm. Otherwise, there is no any specific and highly developed organs or that for the purpose of the respiration. That's all. And so next is, this is very simple. Very simple, the respiratory system. And next is the circulatory system. Circulatory system, circulation. What is circulation? The body fluid, namely. So take in our body, that body fluid, namely that blood, particularly that blood, so that through the blood vessels, the heart pumps that blood through the blood vessels, that is transported to all the parts, that nook and corner of the body, that function, different function it performs, okay, like transport of the respiratory gases, nutrients, okay, that transport to all the cells, because cells are the size of the metabolic reactions. So that all the necessary that substances which are transported to the cells where the metabolism takes place, when return that is from one place, that blood that starts from one place, hot, it pumps, it goes, distribute the blood to the cells. When return, when coming back, it collect the waste, that collect the waste also. Mainly that circulatory system. Transportation, it is mainly the transportation, transport certain substances. Okay, here what is the structure of the that circulatory system? Circulation again and again, that body fluid moves again and again. Okay, it goes all the parts and coming to the heart, then once again pumps the that heart pumps, then that goes to the various parts that circulate again and again. It runs inside the body, that is circulation. How the circulatory system? So listen, first of all, it is a closed type of circulatory system. It is a closed type of circulatory system. So what is the closed type? You know that blood is transported. Blood is transported through the blood vessels. Okay, the blood vessel carry the blood to the various parts of the body. So that type of the circulatory system is called a closed type of circulatory system. We also have the closed type of circulatory system. That means the blood vessels, that blood runs inside the blood vessels. The blood vessels, namely that capillaries and lateral hearts. Okay, that blood capillaries, blood vessels consisting of blood vessels. Okay, and small blood vessels are called the capillaries and the lateral hearts, that we are going to discuss. Now don't worry. That is, first of all, it is a closed type of circulatory system, and that consists of the blood vessels, capillaries and lateral hearts. These are the components. Okay, that components we'll discuss, we are going to discuss one by one. So in detail, first the blood vessels. What are the blood vessels? Listen, there are two large blood vessels. Two median, very important, two median longitudinal vessels. Two median means middle. Okay, two median longitudinal blood vessels. One is, listen, this is, so this is one. That middle of the body that runs that entire length, the median, middle. Okay, one is runs, this is that pink color. That pink color is the digestive tract. This is the intestine. That is one runs, see, listen, this is one runs above the alimentary canal. That is above the alimentary canal. This is called dorsal. Above the alimentary canal, that is called dorsal vessel. That is called dorsal blood vessel. Is a dorsal blood vessel. Okay, dorsal blood vessel. Okay, dorsal upper side. Okay, upper side. So dorsal blood vessel, this is the dorsal blood vessel. Okay, and another runs, so this is this one. So another runs, it is ventral to the, it is ventral below the that alimentary canal is called ventral vessels. Okay, first there are two median longitudinal vessel. Two median longitudinal vessel. This is two median. This is one and this is another. One runs above the alimentary canal, that is called dorsal vessel. Dorsal vessel. Then another blood vessel, see this one, the red color. Okay. So another runs below. Okay, ventral to the alimentary canal. Ventral to the alimentary canal. One is above and another is below. The above is called dorsal vessel and the runs below is called ventral vessel. Okay, that's all. And listen, what is that function? The dorsal vessel connects, that is collects the blood from various parts and run that blood flows this direction, forward direction. See here, there is armor. Okay, it collects the blood from various parts and which runs in the forward direction. That blood runs in the forward direction. That is anterior side. So backward to, that is from backward to that forward. So that is from that anal region to that head region. Okay, tail to head. Okay, the dorsal vessel so collects and transport the blood, that runs blood through this direction, forward direction. Okay, forward direction. So here the dorsal vessel possesses the valve, paired valves are there, valve. Okay, valves are there. So here in that there's valves are there. That valve prevent the backflow. That valves prevent the backflow. That is only that allows the blood from that is backward to forward direction. No backward. Okay, so that valves are there. Always in heart also we have valve. Wherever the valve is there, their function is that allows the substance from that is one direction only. One direction. Okay, not it prevent the backflow. Okay, backward direction. That is allow only one direction. Unidirectional. Okay, the paired valves are there in the dorsal vessel. Okay, this dorsal vessel, number one, dorsal vessel above the alimentary canal that collects the blood. Okay, and it runs the blood from that is backward to forward direction, and it possesses the paired valves that prevent the backward flow. Okay, number one, it's over. Then next is what is next? Ventral vessel. But dorsal vessel completed. The next is the ventral vessel. So this is the ventral vessel. See, this is the ventral vessel. Okay, the ventral vessel, no valve. Very simple. Dorsal vessel, it has valves. Here ventral vessel, this is this one, that red color. See, here there is no valves. There is no valves and non-contractile. Very important. It is a non-contractile. So this is that dorsal vessel is capable of contraction, relaxation, elastic in nature. It is elastic in nature, dorsal. But ventral vessel is the non-contractile in nature. So very important. These are the terminologies. And allows the blood to backward flow of the blood. So listen, dorsal vessel, this is a forward direction, and this ventral vessel, backward direction. Okay, that is anterior to posterior side. Okay, backward direction that allow the blood from anterior to posterior. Anterior na munidi talapakku. Anterior to posterior. Okay, and that's all. The next is very important. And from the segments 6th to, very important, 6th to 18th segment, 6th to 18th segment, the dorsal and ventral blood vessels are connected by, okay, dorsal and blood vessels are connected by the lateral, that is, listen, 8 parts of the commissural vessel or lateral heart. This is important. Okay, dorsal vessel is there, ventral vessel is there. நம்ம நேச்சர்லாம் பார்த்தாச்சு. எப்படி வரும்னு பார்க்கிறோம். இப்ப dorsal vessel-ஐயும் ventral vessel-ஐயும் 8 pairs of, listen, இதோ பாருங்க, இங்க இருக்கு பாருங்க, 8 pairs of the vessel, both the sides, இது dorsal, இது ventral, ரெண்டு பேரையும் கனெக்ட் பண்றாங்க, இப்படி கனெக்ட் பண்றாங்க, புரியுங்களா? So dorsal vessel-ஐயும் ventral vessel-ஐயும் என்ன பண்றாங்க? கனெக்ட் பண்றாங்க. How many? That are called lateral, sideல இருக்கு. Lateral vessels, lateral 8 pairs, that is 8 pair that start from 6th to 13th, paired structures. 6th segment, 1 pair, connect the dorsal and ventral. 7th, 8th, 9th, similarly up to the 13th segment that connect both the dorsal and ventral the blood vessels. Okay, that runs either side of the alimentary canal is middle. Okay, that runs either side of the alimentary canal. That runs either side of the alimentary canal. Okay, so what is the function? It's called lateral. What is that? A commissural vessel or lateral hearts that are called a commissural vessel. Listen, this one. Okay, that are called commissural vessel or lateral hearts. So very simple, very simple. See, it dorsal vessel, it collects the blood from all the parts. அப்படியே வருது. இவங்க என்ன பண்றாங்கன்னு கேட்டிங்கன்னா அந்த டார்சல் வெசல் வர blood வந்து என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க இந்த லேட்டரல் ஹார்ட் வந்து என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க பம்ப் பண்ணி டார்சல் ஹார்ட் டு வென்ட்ரல் ஹார்ட்டுக்கு வருவாங்க. வேற ஒண்ணுமே டார்சல் ஹார்ட் டு தட் இஸ் தி லேட்டரல் ஹார்ட் டு லேட்டரல் ஹார்ட் த்ரூ தி லேட்டரல் ஹார்ட் என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க டார்சல் வெசல் டு வென்ட்ரல் வெசலுக்கு அவங்க அலோ பண்ணுவாங்க. சரிங்களா? இங்க டார்சல் வெசல்ல வருது blood வருது. இப்போ என்ன பண்ணுது that the lateral hearts வந்து என்ன பண்றாங்க pumps that blood so that from the dorsal vessel from that blood reaches the ventral vessel. That's all. Dorsal vessel to ventral vessel க்கு அந்த blood வந்து ரீச் ஆகுது. அவ்வளவுதான். வெரி சிம்பிள். அப்ப என்ன ஆகுது இங்க பாருங்க லிசன் blood இப்படியே வருது வந்து இவங்க என்ன lateral hearts வந்து பம்ப் பண்றாங்க. சோ என்ன பண்றாங்க through the lateral hearts வந்து ventral vessels க்கு வர்றாங்க. இப்போ ventral vessel ல இருந்து என்ன பண்றாங்க that blood is distributed to all the parts of the body. From the ventral vessel that blood is distributed to all the parts. புரியுதுங்களா? Very simple, very simple. That lateral hearts, that lateral heart, okay, that are called lateral hearts or the commissural vessels. Simply that blood vessels, the paired structures that connects the dorsal vessels and ventral vessels. Okay, that is it is also known as a lateral heart. நமக்கு என்ன heart பண்ணுதோ pumping, அந்த pumping work தான் இவங்க பண்றாங்க. Okay, from the and the dorsal vessel blood வந்து என்ன பண்றாங்க pump பண்ணிட்டு that sent to the ventral. Okay, but dorsal vessel என்ன function வந்து என்ன it வந்து என்னது collects the impure blood from various parts and transport it to the anterior side of the body. Okay, lateral hearts pump பண்றாங்க from dorsal vessel to ventral vessel க்கு வராங்க. இந்த ventral vessel என்ன பண்ணுது that distribute the blood to various parts. புரியுதுங்களா? அதோ பாருங்க வந்துட்டு திரும்ப கலெக்ட் பண்ணிட்டு போறாங்க. இது வந்து செப்பரேட் ஒரு क्वेश्चन இஸ் தேர் ஒரு 3 மார்க்ஸ்ல கேட்கலாம். that is the circulatory system ல வந்து difference between the dorsal vessel and ventral vessel. Dorsal vessel above the alimentary canal, ventral vessel below the alimentary canal, elastic, presence of valve and allow the blood to the that is posterior to anterior direction. Ventral vessel, it is below the alimentary canal, non contractile, no valves, that is anterior to that allow the anterior to blood flows from anterior to posterior direction and it collects that is dorsal blood vessel collect the that impure blood from the all the parts that the ventral vessel that distribute the blood to all the parts, that pure blood that supplies the blood to all the parts of the body. Okay. So that's all. I said, that is what is the function of the dorsal and ventral blood vessels. Okay, that's all about the circulatory system. And next is blood glands are there. Blood glands. இப்போ நமக்கு வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா in human being that the RBCs are produced in the bone marrow. RBCs are produced in the bone marrow. But here so the blood cells that produced by the that blood cells are produced by the blood gland. அங்க செப்பரேட்டா gland இருக்கும். இப்போ நமக்கு salivary gland எப்படி saliva produce பண்ணுது. So அந்த மாதிரி அங்க gland இருப்பாங்க. Not bone marrow. So our body that blood cells are produced by the bone marrow. But here in the earthworm there is a glands are there that are called blood glands that located in the anterior segments. Okay, anterior segments of the earthworm, certain specific glands are there. So that produces the blood cells. That produces the blood cells. And here that respiratory pigment, in the earthworm, it is called hemoglobin that transport the oxygen. So in our body, that hemoglobin which is lodged in the, that hemoglobin is lodged in the, so in our body that hemoglobin is lodged in the RBC. This is RBC. Inside the RBC, the hemoglobin is located. That is, but here it is a pigment is the hemoglobin, but it is dissolved in the plasma. So, but it is dissolved in the plasma, not packed inside the RBC. So in human being, it is packed inside the RBC, that hemoglobin, that pigment. But here, which is dissolved in the plasma. So that's why that the color of the blood is red. That is why the color of the that blood in earthworm is red in color, because of the presence of the hemoglobin. So we also possess that pigment, namely that hemoglobin. That is the respiratory pigment, that hemoglobin that transport the oxygen and carbon dioxide. Oxygen carrier, okay. Oxygen carrier is hemoglobin. Here also hemoglobin is there, but it's very important. It's not packed, not packed. That's why I'm repeating the statement. It is not packed inside the RBC, which is dissolved in the plasma, which is dissolved in the plasma. Okay, so that's all about the, that is the circulatory system of the earthworm. Okay, the next system is the nervous system. Okay, the nervous system. So listen, the nervous system. You know what is the function of the nervous system is control and coordination. Control and coordination, that is the main, that controlling body activities are controlled by and coordinated by the nervous system. We have the brain and spinal cord, highly developed brain and spinal cord. What is the nervous system? How the nervous system is arranged? Okay, what's the structure of the nervous system in earthworm? Okay, see, I said already we have highly developed, it's advanced, highly complex, it's brain which is located in the cranium, skull, and from the okay, that is that brain, I developed the brain, from the brain, that spinal cord that runs, spinal cord, that nerves arises from the brain and the cranial nerves, and the nerves arise from the that spinal cord, it's spinal nerves that distributed all the parts and control, okay, regulate the various activities. But here, in case of the earthworm, so how is the that nervous system? Okay, listen, not highly developed, it's like human, it's a primitive type. Listen, it's a bilobed, there is a bilobed mass of the nervous tissue, bilobed. It's like brain, but it is a bilobed. Bilobed means a two-lobe structure, bilobed structure. Okay, this is bilobed. A bilobed mass of the, a collection of the nervous tissue, it is called a ganglion. It is called a ganglion. It's a mass, some amount of the nervous tissue that forms a two lobes, a bilobed structure. Okay. That is called suprapharyngeal ganglion. That is a ganglion, that is that mass of nervous tissue, that is called a ganglion, that is located, see here, this one, see the bilobed structure. Yes, all of you see this, the two-lobed structures, bilobed. That is, it is called suprapharyngeal ganglion. Supra means what? Above, super. Suprapharyngeal means pharynx. That is a mass of, that is that bilobed, that ganglion, which is situated above the pharynx. That suprapharyngeal ganglia, that act as the brain. That act as the brain. See here. Suprapharyngeal ganglion, that act as the brain. And this is located in the, exactly located in the third segment. Listen, third segment. Okay, this is third segment. That is located, see, listen, this third segment. First, second, third segment which is located. located in the third segment above the pharynx. அதனால pharynx பாருங்க supra above pharyngeal pharynx. Ganglia, it is a collection of the nervous tissue, namely it is the brain. Okay, that's all, sir. Then what is next term? Then below the pharynx in the fourth segment, see here, that is below the pharynx in the fourth segment. So a collection of ganglia is there. Okay, that a ganglia is there. A ganglia that is called இது suprapharyngeal, இது subpharyngeal ganglia. பாத்தீங்களா? சப்னா பிலோன்னு அர்த்தம். சப் இன்ஸ்பெக்டர்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. இன்ஸ்பெக்டர் ஒருத்தர் இருப்பாரு, ஐயா அவரு கீழே ஒருத்தர் இருப்பாரு, அவர் தான் சப் இன்ஸ்பெக்டர். சப்னா எப்போதுமே வந்து என்னது, சப்னாலே வந்து பிலோன்னு அர்த்தம். அப்ப பிலோ fourth segmentல ஒருத்தவங்க இருக்காங்க, அவங்க சப்பெரிஞ்சியல் கேங்லியா. பாத்தீங்களா? சப்பெரிஞ்சியல் கேங்லியான், புரியுதுங்களா? தேர்ட் செக்மென்ட்ல ஒருத்தவங்க இருக்காங்க. தேர்ட் செக்மென்ட்ல பைலோப்டு ஸ்ட்ரக்சர், சுப்ராபெரிஞ்சியல் கேங்லியான், பைலோப்டு கேங்லியான், அதான் பிரைன். அப்ப fourth segmentல below the pharynx இருக்காங்க, அவங்க subpharyngeal. Okay, that's all, sir. Now both the suprapharyngeal and subpharyngeal, this is supra and this is the subpharyngeal. That suprapharyngeal and subpharyngeal are connected by, or both are connected by, laterally connected by a connective that is called circumpharyngeal connectives. Connectives அப்படினா என்ன பண்றாங்க, ரெண்டையும் கனெக்ட் பண்றாங்க. என்னது, suprapharyngeal ganglion-ஐயும் subpharyngeal ganglion-ஐயும் கனெக்ட் பண்றாங்க. ஒரு நர்வ் ரிங் ஃபார்ம் பண்றாங்க, அவங்க தான் இவங்க. புரியுதுங்களா? Okay, that's all. Very simple. Suprapharyngeal, that is location. See, simply number வச்சீங்கன்னா you can do wonders, magic பண்ணலாம். A bilobed ganglion that is located above the pharyngeal, suprapharyngeal, that act as the brain, and that fourth below the pharynx, subpharyngeal. Okay, both are connected by the circumpharyngeal connective. Circle பாருங்க, தான் circumpharyngeal, ரெண்டையும் கனெக்ட் பண்றாங்க. இவங்க தான் circumpharyngeal connective. That's all. Very simple. அப்படியே பாருங்க என்ன பண்றாங்க, சுப்ரா. ஓகே, வர்றாங்களாங்களா, வந்துட்டாங்களா? இப்போ இவங்க தான் வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா that is வந்து ஓகே, இப்போ வந்து இங்க ஏதாவது சப்ஃபெரிஞ்சியல் இருக்காங்க, சுப்ராஃபெரிஞ்சியல், சப்ஃபெரிஞ்சியல். இந்த சப்ஃபெரிஞ்சியல்ல இருந்து என்ன பண்றாங்க கேட்டீங்கன்னா, லிசன், ஃப்ரம் தி சப்ஃபெரிஞ்சியல் கேங்லியான் என்ன பண்றாங்க, திஸ் எல்லோ கலர் பாருங்க, அதான் டபுள் வென்ட்ரல் நர்வ் கார்டு அரைசஸ். பாத்தீங்களா? டபுள் வென்ட்ரல் நர்வ் கார்டு அரைசஸ். ஓகே, இந்த ஃப்ரம் தி subpharyngeal ganglion, double ventral nerve cord, double. இங்க பாருங்க, listen, இது சுப்ரா, இது சப், இங்க பாருங்க circumpharyngeal connective. இதுல இருந்து வந்து double ventral nerve cord arise ஆகுறாங்க. அப்படியே double ventral, அதான் எல்லோ கலர் பாருங்க, double ventral nerve cord arise ஆகுறாங்க. இப்போ என்ன பண்றாங்க, இது மாதிரி வர்றப்ப இங்க பாருங்க, listen, ஒவ்வொரு செக்மெண்ட்டுக்கு என்னது, that forms the ganglion. From this ganglion என்ன பண்றாங்க, the nerve arises and supplies nerves to the segments. Okay, that nerves control and coordinate that functions of that organs which are located in that segment. புரியுதுங்களா? double ventral nerve cord that arises from the subpharyngeal ganglion, double ventral nerve cord that arises the entire length of the body, அப்படியே வந்துட்டு entire length of the body, and that is segmentally arranged ganglion. கேங்லியன் இருக்காங்க, அவங்க சப்ளைஸ் நர்வ்ஸ். புரியுங்களா? அவங்க சப்ளைஸ் நர்வ்ஸ். ஓகே, அவங்க என்ன பண்றாங்க, அண்ட் ஆல் தி சென்சரி இன்புட்ஸ் அவங்க ரிசீவ் பண்றாங்க, அண்ட் கமாண்டிங்ஸ். ஓகே, அதுக்கு வந்து ரெஸ்பான்சஸ் கொடுக்குறாங்க. ஓகே, ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் தி நர்வஸ் that system, that mechanism, that nervous system. Okay, how it is located, how it is arranged. See, once again repeating, brain that located in third segment above the pharynx, suprapharyngeal, and fourth segment, that is another ganglion, it's called subpharyngeal. Both are connected by the circumpharyngeal connectives, and from the subpharyngeal ventral nerve cord arises, so that runs the entire length of the body, and segmentally arranged ganglion are there that supplies nerves which receives signals and commanding, that is the responses for the various actions. Okay, that's all. Fine. And next is, this is important, 2 marks most often, or maybe also that 5 marks. And add a note on different receptors found. It's a nervous system, and add a note on the different receptors. Okay, in our body, that sense organ, different sense organs, the receptors are there. Eye, it is meant for, eye is meant for receiving light, photoreceptor. That is ear, the phonoreceptor. That skin is there, skin, it is tactile, touch. Also that temperatures, temperature, hotness and coldness we can identify. Okay, sense, similarly different types of receptors. So here also different types of receptor in the earthworm which possess the different types of receptors. What are they? Photoreceptors. Photoreceptors, of course, not a highly developed eye like us, not a highly developed eye, but there is the receptor to receive, that is photoreceptor. Certain specific cells are there, that a special type of cells are there that able to detect the light. Okay, photoreceptors, a sense of light. Where it is located, this is important. It found on the dorsal surface of the body. So that found the dorsal surface of the body, dorsal surface. This is the earthworm, this is the earthworm. Okay, it is located in the dorsal side. Okay, dorsal side. Dorsal means upper. Okay, dorsal side, that is located. Photoreceptor, sense of light, and gustatory receptors, sense of taste. Gustatory receptors, where it is located, mouth, buccal cavity, that region. Gustatory, sense of taste. And next is the olfactory receptors. Olfactory, nose, sense of smell, olfactory receptor, 1 mark maybe. And the olfactory receptors that receive or the responsible for what sense? It's sense of smell. Namakku irukku smell. Pandala nose la irukku parunga. That is olfactory receptors. Okay, sense of smell. Where it is located? In the buccal cavity. That is located in the buccal cavity. We have nose, but earthworm has nose. No nose. That's why it is located in the buccal cavity. And tactile receptors. Sense of touch. நமக்கு இருக்கல டச் பண்றோம், அந்த tactile sense of touch. So அவங்களுக்கும் tactile receptors இருக்குது. That is sense of touch. Throughout the body the receptors are distributed. And chemoreceptors. Chemoreceptors. It is detect chemical changes. Suppose water is polluted, that soil, in that soil some chemical, what is that, toxic substances are there, ஏதாவது வந்து dangerous chemicals that able to that receptors, chemoreceptors are able to detect the that chemical, that substances, that any chemical change that takes place in the soil, it move away from that. How it knows? Because of these receptors. So because of the presence of the chemoreceptors that able to detect the any chemical changes, so that takes place around itself. Also thermoreceptors. Thermoreceptors. Our skin, it is a thermo. That is that able to detect that hotness and coldness. Thermo. Okay, the temperature changes. Okay, the temperature changes, able to detect the temperature changes. Where it is located? It is a body wall. It is a body wall. Also it is the prostomium. That prostomium. What is that prostomium? That is the lip-like structure that is projecting outside from the peristomium. First segment is called the prostomium. Okay, the thermoreceptors which are located in the prostomium and body wall, and located in the body wall. Okay, that's all about the today's task. Any doubt?